Oh, boys and girls, we've made it to January. The problem with making it to January is the transfer window is now open. We have like 4 or 5 very promising young players that are key members of our squad that are wanted by Premier League clubs. We've got to find a way to survive the January transfer window, selling as few of them as possible, because we're 15 points clear at the top of League One. If we can make it through January, we'll get promoted and we probably won't have to sell them. I don't think there's an option in the game to convince the players of that, though. Right, we have a number of our young players who are wanted by big clubs.
Sell them all.
I'm not going to sell any of them.
Sell them. Oh, Jesus.
That was bright, wasn't it? Of course I saw it.
That was an actual...
So, Ronnie Edwards.
Okay, where's Rue? So I heard him just say, well, where are you, Rue?
Yeah, you go deal with him. This is a storm, everybody. Yeah, Ronnie Edwards is my primary concern. He is our biggest young talent. We've agreed a price of £7.75 million with him. Newcastle are amongst the clubs circling. We do not want to sell him because he is a player to build the club around. If we're trying to get to the Premier League, which of course we are, we're looking for back-to-back promotions. I'm the king of FM. Did I not mention that? If we want back-to-back promotions, Ronnie Edwards is just the man to be at the heart of our defence for the back-to-back promotions. So we don't want to sell him, but he wants to go if that price is met, and it probably will be. We've got Kwame Poku, who wants a new contract, and earlier on in the year was wanted by Premier League clubs. He wants a new contract, but won't agree to one that doesn't have a small release clause in. So we've upset him by refusing to agree to a release clause. Jean-Du Fuchs is wanted by all manner of foreign clubs at various points. Elche are the current ones that are in for him. This boy went off to the World Cup and he's still playing in League One. And I think they're the main ones. Johnson Clark-Harris was attracting interest, but we've thrown a new contract at him to stop that happening. Right, well, we've survived the first week. It is the 7th of January. We haven't sold anybody. This is exciting times. Not convinced the scouting overall is a good thing. Seems like my scouts barely find anything. I guess you just need to give them better instructions. I mean, they don't find players immediately, but over the long term, you'll build up a nice bunch of scouted players. You're just not going to get loads come back after a month. Perhaps I'm just a magician. I mean, you've seen every second of this save. You've seen I'm barely paying attention in those meetings, and we've got loads of players scouted. Big Johnson does a football goal, everybody. Speaking as someone who never, ever, I have never before this version of FM, I have never, ever, ever, never in the history, never, ever, ever set a scouting assignment playing Football Manager before. Whereas now I've got loads that I've set myself. So it certainly dragged me into a side of the game that I just didn't bother with. I just left it automated. Right, come on, let's do another football. We're 2-1 up now. Presumably against the Rock. 3-1. Beautiful. Surely you should start at Aberdeen for the Fergie Challenge. Yeah, but that's not what it is it? The Alex Ferguson Challenge on FM has always been start with the team who, is it 19th at Christmas? I forget the exact rules. Zealand finished the network game yet? Doubt it. Oh, and now we have an offer for Harrison Burrows. He doesn't want to go, so we don't need to worry about it. I mean, we did agree a price of 15 million for Harrison Burrows. We're not going to let him go for 2.8. Did I ever see who won the World Cup? I didn't. We never looked. Shows how much the Saturday night posse cared. Of course it was England. Of course it was England. World Cup winners, England. Well, there you go. With Harry Maguire at the heart of the defence, which, of course, starting in a World Cup winning... in a World Cup final that England won, he is now Sir Harry Maguire. They'll all be knighted, but we need to make sure Harry Maguire definitely has that knighthood. Oh, hold on. We need the full... I know FA Cup's not licensed the way Champions League is, but we do need the full, as if it was licensed experience. It's the FA Cup! The FA Cup! Sponsored by Emirates! The FA Cup! Yeah! Yeah! Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, ceremony host. Beautiful. We don't care about the draw. Just get to the end. Who are we playing? Luton or Morecambe? Well, there you go. I had a bread roll with sausages in. There was no pastry. Only if you had a cappuccino. I mean, I had an Americano out of my Nespresso machine. That's a sausage bap. It wasn't, though, because A, I'm not from the south, which is the only place that has baps. And secondly, if I was going to call something a bap, I would call a soft roll a bap. But these were the little bake-at-home Tesco Petit Pan, little crusty rolls. It was a little crusty roll with a sausage in. So that's definitely not a bap. If you're calling that a bap, you've got bigger problems than I, sir. Anna would call it a cob. She's quite happy. Sausage cob. And I'm furious. Cob, indeed. There's no corn. Greg's called both of them roll. See, that's monstrous. Bap is a northern thing. Pretty sure bap is a southern thing. Isn't bap like London? Barm is northern. And then you got cob, which is the Midlands lot. And then the normal people in between roll. It's a bread roll. Are we going to have to get a new map? Years ago, we had the scrap map. Are we going to need the bread roll map? As a Midlands lot, cob is common here. But I'm ordering a map. I'm ordering a map because I'll have no idea. We'll stick it on the door behind us and we're going to work out what's what and where. And the rules are basically you tell me where you're from, not where you live. Where you're from and what you call them. I don't want to know where you live. That's irrelevant. I want to know where you're from. They are two crucially different things. I mean, we've already agreed the price. It's 7.75 million. So that's what they have to pay. Forget a friendly. I want loan back until the end of the season. I don't need any of this nonsense. We lock this in. Thing is, it's Newcastle. They're going to pay this, aren't they? Here's your posture check. Right. I think they might actually do this. Oh, they didn't. Excellent. We're not getting scones and whatnot involved in this because let's face it, scone is a whole other debate. Because a lot of you will say scone wrong. I mean, the Americans will call it a biscuit, probably. You're mad lads. Calling scones biscuits. And you think a scone is something different entirely? Absolutely lost your minds. Can you pull a picture in Google just so we know what you're referring to? What, of a scone? Scone. There you go. That's not that. That's a scone. Is that? Can you see? There you go. That's what a scone is. Always with jam and cream in. I don't care if it's jam first, then cream. I have always questioned, and because I know it's one way in Cornwall and one way in Devon, isn't it? I don't understand how you can possibly put the cream on first, unless you're spooning it on like some kind of ape that doesn't have opposable thumbs. Because if you're spreading that on with a knife, you can't spread jam on top of cream because the cream's going everywhere. So you spread the jam on, which is going to be a thinner layer, then you spread the cream on. So unless you're some kind of thumbless ape, you do it this way round. I hope the highlight video is mostly just this conversation. Cream on one side, jam on the other. Why? Do you do that when you're making your sandwiches as well? If you're having a ham and cheese sandwich, you put the ham on one side, the cheese on the other, and then hope gravity stops existing for a moment while you combine the two pieces of bread. Just put all the filling on one side and then the piece of bread on top, like a normal person. All the filling on one side, second half of your scone on top. Why on earth would you put half on one side, half on the other, and hope it doesn't fall off when you're having to turn one of them upside down? Oh, there's no logic to some of you people. If Anna eventually opens her Jubilee jam that I bought earlier in the year, maybe a little bit of Jubilee jam. Did I try the Piccalilli? I did try the Piccalilli. It just tastes like Big Mac sauce. For all these years, posh people and old people have conspired to make out that Piccalilli is this fancy thing that you have with picnics and whatnot. It's just Big Mac sauce. Surely you have your jam in the fridge. Give me a minute. I'm so angry. Sorry, I muted myself there because I was so cross and I swore. I'm now going to do it without swearing. I had to get one out first with a swear. Now we try again. I've got that out of my system. We've calmed a little. Jam is a preserve. Why on earth would you need to put it in the fridge? The entire purpose of taking fruit and making it into jam is to preserve it. The act of making jam is what makes it last longer, so you don't need to put it in the fridge, you maniacs. Oh, my word. Oh. You do it on purpose most of the time. I swear you're doing it on purpose. Tastes better cold. Well, that's a different. If you like the taste of it cold, fill your boots. But don't be telling me jam should be in the fridge, just like eggs shouldn't be in the fridge. Oh, but Kev, fridges have egg containers on them. Yeah, that's because that's how they are in America, and they don't change them for the UK market. But in the UK market, our eggs are pasteurised, therefore they don't need to be refrigerated. That's why they're not in the fridge in the shop, because they don't need to go in the fridge. If you need your jam to last longer than it will last in a cupboard, you don't even like jam. Why are you buying it? How long do you need your jam to last? What are you doing? Are you buying a barrel of jam and then storing it in your industrial walk-in fridge? If you're buying a jar of jam, how long is that lasting you? Why do you need to refrigerate it, you weirdo? Just eat the damn jam. It's there. Eat the jam. What? Oh. Oh. You make me so cross. I like to buy jam and keep it in the fridge and make it last as long as possible. Just eat the jam. Put it in the FM23 folder and the same one will work this year. I've not changed it. It still works fine. All I did was drag it over and I'll just re-upload that version when the Steam Workshop is there. So yeah, you can just drag it over from your FM22 folder. Right, so we can see Kel Watts is now on the transfer list. Actually, if that's the case, I might just sign him permanently. Because he was great for us. They wouldn't let us have him back on loan, but we'll just buy him for that rather than... I was looking at Forrester, who just came through on the... I saw there was a thing on Twitter the other day about why you cut your toast, and there was arguments. I'm like, well, what do you mean? What are you cutting toast for? You 9? Why are you cutting your toast? Just eat it. Why do you need to cut toast? Are we really arguing over 750 quid? Right, we can't adjust that, but we can give you a little bit more here. Does that make you happy if we do this? There we go. See, none of these are a big enough offer, therefore they're all going to get rejected. And if he gets a grumpy on, fine, get a grumpy on. Oh, hold on, have the board accepted that one? Oh no, the board have decided this offer was too good to turn down. I hate it when they do that, and I wasn't able to appeal it. I mean, that isn't too good to turn down, is it? It's £1.6 million up front, 1.9 million over a year, and then another £250,000, so another 2.5 million based on him getting 10 league appearances, which won't happen for years. It does have the 40% profit, the friendly, and the loan back. That's all nice, but there's not a chance we should be accepting that offer for a player who's going to go on and be England captain. And we wouldn't in real life. We were turning down offers twice that size all summer long. And yet again, there's no way for me to interact with the board and say no. So frustrating, Football Manager. Because it's so unrealistic. Trigger contract extension clause. I mean, we could try. Do you reckon this trick still works? This trick worked on FM23. Yes, it still works. Come on. Team leader meeting. We should let Ronnie Edwards leave the club. I will, for £7.75 million, which was the agreed price. I'll now offer him out for that. A flat 7.75 million with all the trimmings. That was the agreed price at the start of this window. So you're going to give me that. You're going to give me that. And you're going to give me this. Because that is what we agreed. If people offer that, then he leaves. Simple. Otherwise, he's under contract for the next 2.5 years. It is ridiculous that both of those issues from last year's game are still there, though. The fact that there was no option to interact with the board and the fact that you can just get out of it. There you go. Have they offered the 7.75, do we think? Or have I been done over by the board? Are they going to get the last laugh? Come on. That's even less money. Right, we protest the transfer. Or ask to renegotiate transfer. I think we get more for him if he kept him a while. No, I just want to renegotiate. Except you have to consider selling Ronnie Edwards, but I think we should add a... No. I think we should... No. Try to include... No, we should just ask for more money. The offer has been withdrawn. Have I just convinced the board? No? Yes? So what did that mean? Because now the offer is still there. And my only choice is to resign. At the start of the window, we agreed 7.75 million with the player. Why does that change after 3 weeks? To get to this. I just tried to buy Ronnie Edwards from Peter in my save and they want 6 million. So more than... Well... At least we're getting him back until the end of the season. Now we've annoyed him, he'll probably turn down the loan back. So how much are we actually getting up front? Because I guess it's not deadline day yet, but we're getting 1.9 million up front, of which we'll get 100% to spend. So I guess we still need to sign another defender now. Sponsored by Emirates. The FA Cup. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. At least no one's in for Ricky J. Jones. Watch him get a hat-trick in this. He first match up on Match of the Day, and then he's gone in 3 days, and I'll be heartbroken. I think we'll just end the save if we lose Jones as well as Edwards. Bergstrom just dancing around doing his thing again. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Love sweeper keepers. Now, why is he not running back? He should be legging it back in. I think we got 9 million for Tony. So it's going to be more than that. Oh, it's gone in. That is ridiculous. That's a new goal, boys and girls. Ricky J. Jones. The big loop over the goalkeeper, and it ends up in the back of the net. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Which does seem like a problem. I mean, we saw it with the France World Cup final team. A team with all that talent losing to England because they basically played a back seven. All right. Well, that's us out of the FA Cup. No more Jack Song this year. Just goes, will I spend the money now or in the summer? Well, I'll try and spend it now. It depends what time he goes. Oh, is he? No, he's not actually gone. If he goes early in the day, we'll try and spend the money. If he doesn't, we will run out of time and not be able to. I'm glad we signed Watts when we did. So at least we get to keep 3 defenders. Brighton have offered to take Edwards on loan. Oh, it does have a mandatory future fee. See, I'd love to send him away on loan and then have him back in the Championship next year. But no, not with a future fee. Did Barry get me these suggestions? See, he's an A+. Is he 5-star potential? 4-star potential. He is the right kind of price range. He might be the one. Too short. The guy we've just sold for 7 million is 5'11". You don't need to worry about height. Don't worry about height or attributes or any of that. The only thing we need to worry about is star rating. We're playing Football Manager. This isn't science. It's all about star rating. We may as well take that money. Bless him. Don't know why he went there. Makes no sense. 23 years old. Decent potential. How much would he cost? 140,000. We'll have him. And we'll try and pay even less. These are going up in such small increments. Bigger increments, bigger increments, bigger increments, please. Give me bigger increments. There we go. Still want bigger increments, really. Let's try that. Every penny counts, boys and girls. And then let's just have a look for any bargains. I thought he was called Malarkey. I was going to take a guy called Malarkey. So Bolton are taking him on loan. We're not in the market for loans right now. We want cheap players that we can bring in permanently. Reinvesting. Should we bring in Matty Longstaff for £20,000? I don't think we're going to be able to pay his salary. Yeah, we're not going to be able to pay his salary. His wage demands are bordering on the ridiculous. They're still lower than they're still too high, far too high. Just whatever their counter offer is, just take away the additionals and they'll accept the bid. That feels glitchy though. I don't want to do that. I'll have sensible negotiations. I don't want to do game glitches. No, you're not having him loaned back. We're buying him because we want him. So we try again looking for a centre-back. We've already been down this route, haven't we? Looks like we're getting a Yoma. This is where we find out if our scouts are any good. I want someone who can come and be the backup to Nathan Thompson. That's what we're bringing him in for. And ideally take over from him. I got excited. I thought that was a Yoma there, but no, it's not. This is Cooper. Glad we didn't spend 2 million on a player with 2.5-star current ability. My scouts are reliable then. He was scouted at being as good as these other defenders. Yikes. Ioma's never going to be anything other than a League One player, but looking at this, which doesn't bode well for a team that aren't going to be in League One next year, but it'll do for now. It's a body in here that can at least play if he gets injured. So that's something we didn't have in the squad before. I guess that's a good thing. Randall's leaving. That's also a good thing. We have 8 hours remaining. Oh, it's in game. Okay. Shall I offer him a trial? See if you're still any good, Sariki. Yeah, I want to talk to the player without talking to the agent. But fine, I'll talk to the agent first. We'd want a wage. Well, we're not going to give him that kind of wage. That's a little bit more like it. We still will offer him a contract, though. Be great to bring Sariki Dembele back. Right. Maybe we will add the promotion wage rise back in. Not having a match highest earner clause or a sell-on fee percentage. I don't mind giving him a 50% pay rise when we get to the championship. It's only a 1-year deal as well. That's a huge signing for Sariki and Dembele back. Good eye, whoever spotted that. I'll get out of town, Blackburn. What do you want with him? I need another Trump. They're all big, loud ones that I have to lift my cheeks up for as well. I can't do this subtly. That's why I'm having to tell you about them. Get gassy days, they usually have to beers the previous night. Now that's the root cause of your flatulence. I read that out purely so it had to be accompanied by the goal that we just saw, so Chris had to include it in the edit. Yes, I'm very flatulent today. To have burp a lot, but not farts. No, I'm not really burping. The Peterborough Sports save. So they're the starting team for Non-League to Legend this year. That'll be starting on YouTube on the 8th of November, the day the full game comes out. Maybe that's why I don't like cold jam. Different wiring. Oh, a callback. Oh, Ricky J. Jones. Beautiful. Good old room temperature jam. Did I see Wolves getting FM'd in real life today? I saw the score, but I was watching the Arsenal match. Leicester had 4 chances, scored all 4 to win 4-0. Wow. Only get 1 hydrate every 10 minutes. It was going to pile on. Yeah, because I don't want to pour a bucket of water over my head. It's all starting to come together. Oh, Kwame Poku. Another stunning goal. Well. Let's have a look at this one. Portsmouth are being ruined. Just bang. We don't need Sariki Dembele. We've got Kwame Poku, which is what I would like to do. I think it needs to be as part of him asking for a contract. Zealand burn. There's a reason I keep beating that boy. And obviously, oh, Dembele's signed for Montpellier. That's a shame. When they are paying him a lot of money. It's a shame he didn't want to come home, but then he spent most of his time at the club trying to leave anyway. So, you know. At least we're not, I mean, do we go for Smodics now? We probably shouldn't. After Poku is just putting a performance like that, we really don't need Sammy Smodics. Right, let's try again. Oh, we have to talk to we have to go through his stupid agent. I'm not going to apologise to him. I wanted to remind you, Kwame Poku is currently unhappy with his contract. The only way we can get this resolved is if we enter back into negotiations. Exactly. You previously asked me to overlook problems I ordinarily wouldn't overlook. But I'm not going back into negotiations right now. You are a turd, Nicky Fisher. I'm not going to beg. I'm going to threaten. If you're not prepared to talk terms, I'm not sure I can work with you ever again. I won't be held to ransom it. Right, well, then he's going to have to sack you because I don't work with you anymore. Is there any way to ask him to sack his agent? I've started a war with an agent. Ugh. I'm on his negative opinions list. 45 minutes ago, it doesn't look like Barry's coming in with anyone for me. And that is that. So our players in were all centre-backs, one of which also left. And Joel Randall and Joe Taylor both left on loan as well. I mean, I guess we've gone through that window relatively unscathed. We lost Ronnie Edwards, but we didn't lose Jones. We didn't lose Burrows. We didn't lose Poku or Fuchs. And the next time we're in a transfer window, we'll be a championship club because we are 22 points clear at the top of the league. So fingers crossed. That's probably as good an outcome as we could have hoped